Lovely to see you all. Namaskar. Good evening, everyone. Lovely to have you here with us this evening at a very, very special launch. My name is Anuj Gurwara, and on behalf of our three very wonderful authors, Shri Bishan Sahai, Dr. Ruchi Ranjan, and of course, our birthday girl and new author, Ishika Ranjan, I'd like to welcome all of you to the launch of Our World, a Symphony of Drabbles by Three Generations, published by Rupa Publications. Here we have Drabble, a short work of fiction. Drabble means a short work of fiction, precisely 100 words in length. That's all. That's it. 100 words in length. And now we have an entire book of Drabbles written by three extremely gifted individuals. And we're launching it today with, of course, the wishes and the blessings of friends and family and well-wishers and colleagues. So thank you so much for taking time out. What I would like to now do is, of course, we have an interesting evening ahead. But I'd like to introduce you to one of India's greatest storytellers ever. He has been one of the crown jewels in the treasure of the Indian literary scene. So here we have the inimitable, the absolutely wonderful genius, the storyteller, master storyteller, Mr. Ruskin Bond.
Three generations of authors. Well, that's certainly an unusual combination, and probably made possible because of the corona lockdown, when we've all had to get together and work together and even write together. Well, this book of yours, it's called A Symphony of Drabbles. Now, a drabble isn't something I've written before, but now that you've put the idea in my head, I might try a drabble or two myself. Meantime, I'm going to enjoy reading yours, Three Generations, and Ishika, you're the youngest. I believe it's your birthday too on the 26th. Huh? So happy birthday to you, Ishika, and happy launching. May your book go into many homes. May there be many readers for you in the near future, and with other books over the years, because one book always leads to another. So I hope your Drabbles will lead to many other literary efforts on your part, both short and long, and in between. So, love to be with you. Maybe we meet one day. So, good luck.
Mr. Ruskin Bond also has written, a little lovely line on, which is also the front cover of the book. He says this is an entertaining collection of tiny tales for tired COVID-19 survivors. A drabble a day should keep the doctors away. So we are very delighted to have our book, A Symphony of Drabbles, in the experienced and trusted hands of Rupa Publications. And the managing director, Mr. Kapish Mehra, has a special video message for us. I'd like to play that for you, please.
Many congratulations to the Sahai and Ranjan family. It is very rare that three generations come together in today's day and age to do anything together, and especially to write a book is fantastic because not only does it echo the sentiment that is felt by different family members, but also it showcases the emotion, approach, as well as outlook that they have towards life. Because a book of Drabbles, which is peppered with different anecdotes, certainly is something that will be worth reading, especially because it spans three generations. After all, how many times have we seen anything which is put out in the creative format, which is across three generations? And something like this, I'm sure, will be well received. I would also like to take this opportunity to wish Ishika the very best on her birthday. And there couldn't be a better gift for you, I'm presuming, from your mother or your grandfather on this special occasion.
It's time now to unveil this lovely little book of Drabbles, and we're honored to have a renowned author, filmmaker, storyteller with us. Formerly with the Indian Navy, he is the author of the best-selling novels Calling Sehmat, which was adapted into the movie Razi, and Vichoda. He's also the producer of the movie Nanak Shah Fakir, which has received multiple national awards, and the foreword for our book has also been written by him. I warmly welcome Mr. Harinder Sikka.
I want to speak my mind on this. When I was told this for the first time, I searched dictionary, to be honest, and I thought I was a writer. And the more I explored about it, the more I realized that this one word, if somebody took it seriously and promoted it in India, and just wrote, say for example, that in hundreds of years ago, Shushruta did plastic surgery and recorded the equipment he used in the Shastras, the science will change. If somebody was to talk about Gulf Stream, how it how it keeps from Gulf of Mexico to Atlantic on a balance, somebody would like to do a thesis on that. In 1971 war, if somebody wrote, little fictionalized of course, that 95,000 prisoners from Pakistan surrendered to 1/10 of that force in front, and that were Indians, you would like to read the entire history. And then I started trying to drabble a bit that here was a Kashmiri woman who went to Pakistan, married a spy, married a counterpart or army captain as a spy, and saved thousands of Indian lives. She was a Kashmiri woman, a Muslim woman. That will finish the chapter per se that Kashmiris are traitors. In just 100 words, you could make or break a complete story or tell the world that this can happen. So thank you very much, Ishika, and the three generations we have put together this idea in our minds. And I'm sure in coming times, the schools, the students would like to go through this and understand how valuable this Drabble can be in our lives. So here's this beautiful book. And thanks to the designers, and I'm sure Ruchi's constant focus on how it should look like. It does those small little size, it tells the world that I have an ocean hidden in. Congratulations.
Mrs. Summer Thompson from Cambridge, Massachusetts, where Ishika had learned creative writing. She was Ishika's first teacher who introduced her to the world of creative writing when she was just 7 years old, grade 3 at Cambridge, Massachusetts. Mrs. Summer Thompson is in the United States, and she's very proud that Ishika is launching her book of Drabbles, and she's recorded a special video message to share with all of us. So I'd like to play that for you.
Hi, Ishika. I hope that you remember me. I'm Mrs. Thompson. I taught you in elementary school when you were here in Cambridge, Massachusetts in USA. I am so proud of what you have accomplished. Your writing is clever, and it just takes a lot of bravery to write and then share your writing with the world. I hope that you're getting a great response. And I think it's also special that you're doing this project with your family. And I hope that your creativity that you learned back in elementary school will continue to shine as you keep continuing with your life, growing up and going on all the adventures that you'll go on.
We have another teacher. This is where Ishika is currently studying in grade 11 at the Ebook Public School. And we have Miss Lata Shankar, the principal of the school, who's been very kind enough to join us.
At the outset, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Bishan Sahai, Dr. Ruchi Ranjan, and Ishika. These stories have been very well strung together. I can see that these stories are very engaging and very reflective of the diversity of the three generations. My compliments to all of you. I'm sure this form is going to be popularized as a very interesting format for literary expressions in the school. And I do hope that you would take that up, and wish you all the very best, Ishika.
Let's also go back to Ishika's childhood, where she spent 10 long, happy years at the Vidyaranya High School. And we have Miss Shikha Nigam, who is Ishika's Hindi teacher.
इशिका के परिपक्व विचारों से मैं भली भांति परिचित हूँ, क्योंकि इतनी चुपचाप रहने वाली लड़की की कलम उसके विचारों को बड़ी स्पष्टता से प्रकट करते हैं, और ये गुण एक लेखिका में होना अनिवार्य है. इशिका के निबंध, कहानियां और पत्र आदि अक्सर मुझे चौंका देते थे और कहीं ना कहीं मेरे दिल को छू जाते थे। आजकल इस मुश्किल समय में जब ये गैजेट्स की ताकत हम सबके ऊपर हावी हो रही है, तब मैं उम्मीद करती हूँ कि आने वाली पीढ़ी किताब और कलम के अस्तित्व को सदा जीवित रखेगी। और मुझे यकीन है ये ड्रैबल्स मेरे ख्याल से लोगों को लिखने के लिए अवश्य प्रोत्साहित करेंगे। मैं इशिका को ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं देती हूँ। उनकी माँ रुचि को और इशिका के नाना जी को बहुत बहुत बधाई।
I would now like to, of course, read a very special excerpt by somebody who has written praise for the book, for this Symphony of Drabbles. And this gentleman is a celebrated author. He is, of course, an eminent parliamentarian. He's a former international diplomat, but he is also the country's possibly the most challenging wordsmith. I mean, जब ये ट्वीट करते हैं, जब कुछ पोस्ट डालते हैं, तो सारा देश एक कंफ्यूज आता है कि इसका मतलब क्या है, क्योंकि जितनी बार वो ट्वीट करते हैं, डिक्शनरीज की सेल बढ़ जाती है. So, Mr. Shashi Tharoor has, of course, read Drabbles, and he has given a very beautiful excerpt as praise for the book, and in simple words, which I can read, thankfully. So I would like to read that out for you. He says, in the era of instant communications and rapidly abbreviating attention spans, what could be more delightfully diverting than Drabbles? Stories in precisely 100 words? In our world, A Symphony of Drabbles, authors Bishan Sahai, Ruchi Ranjan, and Ishika Ranjan offer a series of crisp and engaging short stories that reflect the diversity and experiences of the three generations they represent. With wit, imagination, and insight, these Drabbles offer pleasure, instruction, and fun, an enjoyable read. That was Mr. Shashi Tharoor praising the book, and of course, this is the benchmark of the highest order. So there you go. Congratulations, authors. Well done. The master blaster, Sachin Tendulkar, our Bharat Ratna, who has also read the book and actually written praise for it. And I'd like to share that with you. A new format, he says, always brings excitement. In cricket, while test format continues to be the epitome of the sport, newer formats like T20 have taken the game to the masses and to those who hadn't been fans of the sport earlier. Given that children of today have low attention spans, short formats like Drabble will be more appealing to them. Eventually, they will get into the habit of reading. This book has stories from three generations and something on offer for readers across ages. I must congratulate Shri Bishan Sahai, Ishika Ranjan, and Ruchi Ranjan for embracing this new format. Sachin Tendulkar, cricketer. We have a special set of artists with us this evening, and they're going to read out a few Drabbles for us. I'd like to introduce the gentleman who's going to lead our entire troupe of artists and theatre professionals. This is Mr. Pranav Singhal, and he's one of Hyderabad's most respected theatre veterans. He founded Dramatic Circle Hyderabad in 1964. It's one of the oldest theatre groups in the country, and since then he has directed and produced numerous plays, and not just that, he has nurtured generations of actors and theatre professionals in our city.
It's a pleasure for me and my colleagues from Dramatic Circle Hyderabad to read from this absolutely delightful collection of Drabbles. We have three generations of DCH members. Me, a baby boomer who joined the group in 1980, Deepa Sen and Jayant Dwarkanath, Gen X, who joined in the 90s, and young Ria Bhatarpikar, who is a millennial. So here is a tasting menu from One World, A Symphony of Drabbles by three generations. First up, Bishan Sahai's What Hurts Most, read by Jayant.
My friend Malti, a management consultant in her 30s, was returning from Missouri with two male colleagues after conducting a training program. They were waylaid by lathi-bearing hoodlums. Nikalo, kya hai tumhare paas? Wallets were quietly handed over. Rings, bangles, and watches were snatched. Malti sat through the ordeal, nervous and apprehensive, until one row came round to her side of the car and whispered, "Don't worry, Mataji. We only want money." Certainly, they were unscathed. The car was allowed to leave unhurt. Malti was livid, recounting the trauma to me. "I can't imagine that oldie could call me Mataji."
Next is Deepa Sen reading Ruchi Ranjan's Hide and Seek.
Under the bed, below the table, behind the door, my entire family was playing hide and seek. Social distancing and lockdown had limited our movement. He had to be somewhere. It was difficult to search for one located in a duplex. He refused to respond to our naive calls. His silence complicated the operation. Tempers ran high. Without him, work from home was impossible. And during COVID-19, everything had to be done virtually. Classes to webinars. Exhausted, I went to make a pumpkin spice latte and reached for the cup and saucer. There lay silently the hidden one, my smartphone.
Ria will read Ishika Ranjan's Real versus Real.
Following the stream of black smoke, we departed from the road. Julia and I soon found ourselves surrounded by a dense forest. The cloud of impenetrable murky smoke led us to a decrepit house. The steady flame wasn't being tended to at all. 2 burnt skeletal bodies lay outside. We had to act. Fast, frantically, we ran in search of aid. The sound of a running river guided us to a throng of people. How could they be so oblivious to the raging fire so near them? Angered, we confronted them. We were left red-faced. It was a movie shoot.
We move on, of course, to another special video message. This is by Ishika's uncle, who is the professor of physical planning at the School of Planning and Architecture, Professor Mayank Mathur. He has a special message for us, and I'd like to share that with you.
I'm sure it'll find readers of all ages with different tastes, and why not? It's written by 3 generations. Small is beautiful. The short stories are fabulous, giving surprises, laughs, and tears. They have a direct connection to the heart. Drabbles are going to inspire a lot of children in developing habit of reading, and that is the need of the hour. In this technology-driven world, reading books has taken a back seat. I feel that reading Drabble is the first step in developing such skills. Parents must introduce this book to their children. Rarely will you find a book that is co-authored by 3 generations of a single family. And yes, this collection has brought all the tastes into one recipe. And I congratulate the authors, Shri Bishan Sahai, Dr. Ruchi Ranjan, and the birthday girl, Miss Ishika Ranjan, for their beautiful contribution in bringing out this book of Drabbles for the society. All the best.
And we now have writer, executive coach, and former Ranji player, Mr. Harimohan Puruve, who'd like to express his thoughts with us, please.
I found Ishita's stories were full of imagination. They took me all around the world with unexpected, youthful endings. Dr. Ruchi's stories were very rooted, full of observation and insight, and have a wonderful, ponderous quality to them. Bishan Sahaiji's stories, I think, reflected his understanding of the human condition, humans themselves, and were full of humor. I thoroughly enjoyed the mix. So my best wishes to you all. And I'm sure there are more books coming out of all of you. Best wishes to our world as it begins its journey out into the world today. And I'm sure many more will be inspired by it to write more Drabbles. So looking forward to many more. Thank you so much.
Dr. Ruchi Ranjan's sibling is her best critic, so congratulations, good for you. Your sister, Professor Alka Bihari, has sent a wonderful message on video, and I'd like to share that with all of you.
To put it in simple words, I found the Drabbles very interesting and entertaining. Some Drabbles brought a smile to my lips, others tears in my eyes, and some a chuckle. There were others which gave an element of surprise, shock, or happiness. Sometimes I found myself laughing aloud. It's so amazing that a single book can encompass a myriad of emotions. Once again, I would like to congratulate the three authors for, if I may call this, a book extraordinaire.
Up next, may I please now invite Mr. NPS Shin, owner of Bakelight Hylam and a former colleague of Mr. Sahai. Sir, may I welcome you to express your thoughts, please.
I think it's a wonderful pioneering effort to put a book together which can be read so fluently, so easily, and which will have a universal appeal, not just for children and to encourage them to read, but I think also for all people of all ages. They would love to read it and perhaps pen whatever they have, whatever thoughts come to them into such kind of short drabbles. Most of the children love to know about what their parents did, what events happened, and our life is full of drabbles, full of events which can be converted. I think this particular pioneering effort is going to create a lot of writers, and the stories that they write will be shared in family and friends and bring all of them much closer and into a very, very healthy, genuine environment of friendshipness. I really congratulate all of them, and I'm very delighted to see Mr. Bishan Sahai's picture on the book and his contribution, as also young Ishika, who's showing so much promise at this age. She has a very beautiful life ahead, and I think she'll be a great creative writer. And Ruchi, of course, deserves all the admiration.
I'd like to now invite Mr. Pranav Singhal, now that he's off stage, and I'd like to invite him to share his thoughts now and his association, of course, with the family and wishes for the book.
Hello again. Well, I've had the privilege and pleasure of knowing the senior most of the authors, Bishan Sahai Saab, for over 45 years. As a callow youth, when I joined a large industrial house as a management trainee in Calcutta, Sahai Saab was executive director and my first boss, mentor, and guru. Although the art of the drabble had not yet been invented, Sahai Saab was a born natural at precision and brevity. He could rip you apart in a 10-word note. And one shudders to think what would happen and what would be the result had he been allowed 100 words at that point. His current contribution, along with his two succeeding family generations, really illustrates how wonderful and delightful precision and brevity can be in presenting us a slice of life. I sincerely hope you don't stop at 86. Please give us many, many more. And thank you very much, Sahai Saab, Ruchi, and Ishika, for a wonderful addition to fiction. Thank you.
We have Professor T. Vijay Kumar, who is a former professor of English at the Usmania University and the director of the Hyderabad Lit Fest. May I please invite you, sir?
In 100 words, how much you can say, and very often, the number of words we use are so redundant. So these drabbles make us imagine and wonder with curiosity about what could have happened before the story or after the story ended. So once again, congratulations to the three authors and beautifully produced book. And I'm sure our readers would enjoy reading them. Once again, happy birthday to Ishika. May you write more books.
I'd like to now, of course, invite our wonderful authors to speak. And before that, may I please play a special video message that Mr. Sahai has recorded for us. And I'd like to play that for you and then invite Dr. Ruchi to speak.
Good evening. When Ruchi asked me to be a part of a book that she was planning to write, a book comprising Drabbles from 3 generations, my first thought went to my grandfather. There was nothing that I knew which he did not know better. But here was I, having no clue as to what a Drabble is, while my granddaughter, 15-year-old granddaughter, Ishika, not to mention her mother Ruchi, have been dabbling in writing Drabbles regularly as a part of their literary endeavor. Incidentally, Ishika turns 16 today. Happy birthday, Ishika. It has been a pleasure to put my 2 cents in this intergenerational symphony of fiction in a new format. I do hope it will be found enjoyable by readers as reflecting the idiosyncrasies of us humans. Thank you.
From the grandfather to the granddaughter, Ishika either prefers to have her words speak to us, or she prefers to put her message or her words out on video. And we have Ishika's video that she has recorded for us now. So I'd like to play that for you.
Good evening, everyone. I feel very happy on this memorable day. It has been a dream come true to be able to get a book authored with my mother and grandfather. This is a double delight today that my favorite Ruskin Bond is here with his feedback and wishes for my birthday. Mr. Harinder Sikka, whom I had heard at the Hyderabad Literary Festival earlier this year, has impressed me for being so passionate about his writings. I have grown up reading books and books and have admired the style, wit, and creativity of numerous authors. Every book that I have read has left a mark upon me. While I am very eclectic in my reading habits, I enjoy writings on soft sci-fi and adventure the most. As a writer of Drabbles, I have used this genre the most since I feel that it gives me a free run to my imagination. I hope that I will get useful feedback from all the readers so that I can improve my writing and become worthy of your praise. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ishika. And it's time now to invite Dr. Ruchi Ranjan to please speak to all of us and express how she's feeling. Congratulations on the book.
Hello, family and friends. A very good evening to you. I begin by thanking you all for finding time from your busy schedule to be a part of our book launch and for your kind and encouraging words. Special thanks to Ruskin Bond for making our day so special. I'm really grateful to Mr. Harinder Sikka for kindly accepting our invitation to launch the book and for being an encouraging force throughout. Right from the time I had given him the manuscript for his comments and feedback, he has been a strong pillar of support, appreciating the writing style of the young budding writer Ishika. Thank you so much, Harinderji. Many thanks to my publisher Rupa for believing in our proposal and for seeing it to completion with the same finesse for which you are known the world over. Thank you so much, Kapish Mehraji, Dibakarji, and your entire team. Now, the cover of the book has been receiving a lot of applause and appreciation. It is really amazing how the crude inputs which we had given to Rahulji, they have been so aesthetically included in the design. Many thanks to you for bringing out such a beautiful cover. Thanks are also due to Professor Vijay Kumar for being so very supportive and helpful, to Mr. Pranav Singhal for identifying the voices which have brought, of actors which have brought life to our stories, to Anuj for so meticulously hosting this meet. Thank you so much, Anuj. And to all those who have been directly or indirectly associated with our book, a big thank you to you all. Regarding Drabble writing, I was introduced to this concept in the year 2016 by none other than my husband Jayesh. We are all members of a book club here in Hyderabad, and the members of this book club, they get together every month, and the one who is hosting, he suggests the topic for discussion. Now, in one such meet where we were the hosts, Jay suggested Drabble writing. Now, it was a totally new concept for everybody. None of the members, including myself, knew what a Drabble is. But when Jayesh told us that they are just some short stories in precise 100 words, we were all very, very excited. But let me tell you, it was not an easy task. It was very, very challenging. It took me a couple of days to write a single Drabble. Though every year I would write up and down a Drabble in the memory of my late father-in-law on his death anniversary, and I would share it on the social media with my family and friends. I have received a lot of encouragement and motivation from them. But even then, the thought of writing a book never occurred to me. It is only now, in the year 2020, when the world has been hit by the pandemic, that the idea of writing a book was conceived. Now, it was a period of lockdown, and Ishika was also at home. Her exams had got cancelled, and there was no other activity. She was totally free. So I suggested to her, why don't we write a book of Drabbles and try to get it published? Now, at first, she was very reluctant because she was happy with her long stories. But then when I just pushed her a little bit, then she agreed, and I believe she has done a fabulous job. Please read the book and give encouragement to her, give her the right feedback so that she is motivated to write more and more. She needs some push. Now, this was a great idea that both mother and daughter are writing the Drabbles. Now, I thought, why don't we involve the grandfather also? So thankfully, when I talked to him, he agreed. Though he says that his contribution is just 2 cents, but I don't agree because it is a very, very valuable contribution and it has given a firm push to the book. So the three of us, that is how the idea got germinated, and that is how our world, the Symphony of Drabbles, was born. Now, this book has got 86 Drabbles. Now, you may ask, why 86? Now, this is because the number 86 has got a special significance for us. We are celebrating the 86th birthday of our favorite author, Ruskin born. He turned 86 this year, so it is to mark and celebrate his birthday in a small way. So now my stories, they are basically, I'll talk about my stories, they're basic, as you have heard, they are more of realistic fiction. And I am inspired by my surroundings, the people around me and their oddities, the animals and the birds, they also inspire me to write. And the common element in all my stories you will find is that they end on hope. Right from the young adult to the elderly, this book will be found very entertaining by everybody. And I'm sure that how much I enjoyed writing the Drabbles, you are going to enjoy the same or even more. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and congratulations once again to all three of you and the entire family, and of course Mr. Jayesh Ranjan as well, always behind the scenes as he loves to be. We would love to have people read and give their reviews and feedback on what the stories are and what they make you feel and how the book really makes you feel after you read it. There is, of course, a Facebook group, a page that has been created, which is a Symphony of Drabbles by Three Generations. That page is there. You can always reach them there. The book, of course, is available on Amazon, also available in ebook format. So with that, I think we've taken a lot of your time, but thank you so much for taking time out and joining us. Thank you to everybody who's come in, all our friends, family, well-wishers, to all the speakers, the eminent people here who have spoken live or on video message. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. Take care. Stay safe.